If you're looking to improve your aim, then make sure to check out Control Freak and use the code OGXRAYZ to get 10% off all the products. Link in the description below. Yo guys, what's up? It's XRAYZ. Welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. Now today I want to talk to you guys about this huge update that we got today for Call of Duty World War II. And it's actually pretty huge. It almost kind of signals a change in direction for Sledgehammer Games in terms of receiving feedback and openness. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's actually a update that addressed an issue that a lot of people had, but they felt that was never going to be fixed or changed because Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield had a pretty direct vision for what they wanted, and they pretty much said no. They said no, but we'll think about it. And so this is huge. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the sprint out times on the weapons in Call of Duty World War II. A lot of people were complaining that the sprint out times were just very slow and that the game felt slow because of it. And for a lot of people, it was incredibly noticeable. For some people, it wasn't as noticeable, but for some people, it was super, super slow. And so when people would address this to Michael Condrey and to Glenn Schofield, they would say, we hear you, but we kind of feel like we're at the right zone here for what we're trying to go with the era and just the feeling of the game. And so after like 2 times or 2 tries that the community was like, let's change it, and Michael Condrey said, nah, they kind of just gave up at that point. And so after that, we didn't really hear anything else. We didn't hear any information about it until yesterday, which we got a Reddit post that got a ton of people excited. And I don't know if this Reddit post, which has since forth become an update that came out today, we don't know if this is because Aaron is now in charge of Sledgehammer Games. For you guys that are not aware, or for you guys that didn't hear, Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield left Sledgehammer Games about 3 or 4 weeks ago to take executive positions within Activision. So the role of studio head was then transferred over to Aaron, who is pretty much someone who is a huge vet. He's been working there for 9+ years since the inception of the studio, and you know, he knows what he's doing. He has had that experience, and so people were a little bit worried, but at the same time we're like, okay, cool, we got a new direction, new vision, and it looks like this vision and direction has since been put forward, and I think a lot of people are really happy with it. So let's go ahead and talk about what this post says, the changes. First of all, I'm really happy. It sounds like now Sledgehammer Games is going to try to incorporate our feedback more than what Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield were doing. And this is not to say that they were bad or they were in the wrong, because I feel like they delivered a really awesome game, but they were kind of stubborn when it came to some stuff, which is good. I mean, good for them. It's not saying it's bad. I'm saying that they had a vision, they had a direction, and they weren't budging from it. But it looks like if this was in fact something that Aaron pushed, that this is maybe hope for us being able to incorporate, like, you know, who knows, maybe we'll have terrible ideas and it'll ruin the game. But sometimes giving the community what they want, despite what you think, might be something to try, you know, who knows. But let's go ahead and talk about this post. I'm gonna go through it. If you guys want to check it out, I will link it down below. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So it says, hey everyone, guess what? The weekend is almost here. Don't know about you, but we are excited for it. Last weekend of Resistance event fun. Triple double, which is double XP, double weapon XP, and double division XP, along with free multiplayer access for PC. And with it, some changes. For a while now, we've been reading your comments and threads with all the detailed and helpful feedback on some of our game mechanics, and decided it was time for us to do a community check-in with you on the weapon tuning, including slight quick scoping nerf and an ADS/sprint times. Good news. We have some updates for you. Our dev and QA team have been working to assess, test, and adjust components, and we're excited to say we have some big changes coming tomorrow. Now, this is something they put yesterday. Since this post, the update is already live and the changes are already live in the game. For what it's worth, we prefer to give you all clear times for fixes and updates rather than coming soon whenever possible. This is one of those instances where we can do it. So basically they're saying, if we know something's going to happen and we have a date, we'll give it to you, as opposed to just saying coming soon. And if they don't have a date, they'll probably still continue to say coming soon. We expect these changes to speed up gameplay a bit and improve the overall MP experience for a lot of you. After the changes go live tomorrow, please don't hesitate to let us know your thoughts and provide any feedback you think could help us improve things. Thank you to everyone who contributed constructively to the dialogue on this stuff. Details below on the changes coming. So let's go ahead and talk about these changes. Again, the way that's kind of paraphrased, or that the paragraph that they put there, the little intro, almost feels like it's like saying we are changing stuff up, and, you know, listening to your feedback and trying something that you guys want to try is a step in what we're doing. So I don't know, it feels like maybe it's just a placebo effect, maybe it's just me overthinking, maybe all of us might be overthinking, but it almost sounds like you're saying we have a new leader, we have a new studio head, and we're going to change things up and we're going to try some stuff. different, and I'm happy. I'm happy to try something new, keeping it fresh. Let's talk about these things that they're changing, that came today, I should say. ADS transition times, ADS from sprint times, and ADS sprint out times. So it says SMGs, they buffed base ADS times and buffed ADS in from sprint times. ADS sprint out times match the ADS from sprint times. Awesome, really happy with that. So basically they buffed the SMG. Now you sprint out faster as opposed to just sprinting out faster when you have like an attachment or something. I'm really happy for this. I think a lot of us were kind of hoping for a at least SMG one, but they did do it also for the LMGs, which we'll get to in a little bit. They didn't really change anything on the rifles because you guys will see here, they said that they were trying to keep a distinction between an SMG and an AR. So if you, for instance, want to rush around and use an SMG, now you have that added benefit of being able to sprint out a little bit faster because you have an SMG and not be tied down to the same sprint out time as an AR. So that's pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. Now, as for the rifle, it says that they buffed base ADS transition times, but not ADS from sprint times / ADS sprint out times, in an effort to maintain a difference between the SMG and AR class playstyles. Sniper, Kar 98K, and M1903, they nerfed the ADS transition times, a slight quick scoping nerf. So I think a lot of people are happy with that. Probably the snipers are not so happy with that. They're kind of, in my opinion, crippling the Kar 98. I love that thing and do okay with it. And maybe that's a bad sign. So it kind of sucks that they're doing it more, but you know, you got to do it. You got to listen to the community, and I guess the overwhelming majority said, "Hey, let's nerf that guy." All right, so LMGs, they buffed the base ADS times. Thank you. That thing felt so freaking slow. It was a chore using it, and now they made it slightly faster. So thank you so much for that. They did put a note on here that says base ADS times for SMGs are faster than rifles, and rifles are faster than LMGs. In other words, there is now more of a distinction between class playstyles. So basically they're saying if you're using an SMG, you're going freaking fast, you're moving around fast. If you're using an AR, you're okay. And if you're using an LMG, you're going to be a little bit slower, but not as slow as you were before. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of these weapon tuning changes that are coming, which I think are all pretty thumbs up, or 2 thumbs up. I think a lot of you guys are going to be happy with these changes. So we got the MP40. They buffed the recoil on it, so now it's going to be a lot more accurate, just so they can compete with the other SMGs. The FG42, they nerfed the fire rate to try to keep it in line with the other weapons in the class. I'm okay with that. Maybe some of you guys enjoy the FG42 and you're pissed off that they're nerfing it again, but you know, I think a lot of people were still kind of paranoid that it was a overpowered weapon, and so they nerfed it again. So that's a funny one, because they nerfed it, then buffed it, then nerfed it again, and it's just, make up your mind, community. What do you want? So we have the SVT-40, which is a terrible weapon in my opinion, but they did buff the recoil, and I'm so happy for that, because that thing, like, you shot once and it was game over. You can't shoot that second time. Headshots with it were almost impossible, so I'm really happy that they buffed it now, and the recoil is going to be a lot more stable. However, they did nerf the hip spread to try to match it with the M1 Garand. Awesome, I'm cool with that. The M1A1 was buffed to have a faster fire rate, which is good. I like that. And they did the same thing with the Gewehr 43, although the Gewehr 43 still has a slightly faster rate of fire than the M1A1. So I'm okay with those. Both of those weapons also felt like they were getting shredded a lot, so to make them a little bit faster to shoot, I'm totally cool with. The M30 Ludwig drilling. So basically they buffed the damage per pellet to be on par with the recent style of shotgun changes, so that the shotguns now have a more automatic 2-shot kill and slightly more forgiving 1-shot kill range. So I'm so happy for this update, because now they're kind of elevating the other shotguns up to the level of the combat shotgun, which is godly, and they were just kind of ignoring the other ones for some reason. And now they're like, nope, we're gonna buff that one, and not only that one, but we're also going to buff the toggle action, which is awesome. Now let's go ahead and finish the M30. Now it says that they also buffed the shotgun damage range, so it's not more feasible to finish off an opponent who didn't die from the rifle bullet. And they also buffed the ADS spread to allow for greater accuracy when shooting enemies that are on the outside of the obvious shotgun range. So that's good, and that changes for when you are ADSing. The toggle action got a buff clip size from 8 shots to 6 shots per clip, which is awesome, in an effort to allow players to have more access, to have more success with the weapon. So basically, you're going to have more shots per shot than before. It's not saying that they're going to reduce the magazine, but they're just saying, hey, we're going to increase the amount of shots that you shoot out when you burst or whatever. Now it says that they nerfed the ADS spread to be on par with the other shotguns I'm totally cool with that. So basically, they did a huge update and balancing for the shotguns, for the semis, which I was hoping for the FG42, which I think a lot of people were still clamoring for that nerf, and then obviously the MP40, which I thought was already good and really good, and now who knows, maybe now it's godly. I gotta check it out. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like on the video. It is very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, if you want to see even more content like this, I'm going to have a ton more Call of Duty World War II news, info, rumors, leaks, more coming. So make sure you guys do subscribe and you slap that notification bell icon next to the sub button so you don't miss a single upload. If you guys want to talk some more, Twitter, best place to talk, always on there, super active, at OGXRAYZ. Go ahead and give me a follow over there. And if you want to, I also do have a gaming and second channel, links to those down below. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you guys think about this update. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? I'll put a poll on screen. I think a lot of us are pretty happy, honestly, because it kind of signals a change. They drew a line in the sand and said, yo, we're trying new stuff, and I'm totally cool with that. Aaron, if this was your doing, I say thank you. And if it's not, then Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield budged and gave us something right before they left. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm out. Peace.